welcome to Dark Heresy Hidden Scars, where we welcome back Sheepy and 2 new players, and Anjali will be joining us shortly. Before we go around and say hello to everyone, please take a moment to check out all the links as the bot spams them at you in chat, including social links, places you can support us, sponsor information, places you can get 10 to 15% discount on all sorts of websites, and the tweet. Please retweet the tweet, because retweeting tweet helps us tweet. Big thank you to Mage Hand Press and Bird and Storm Publishing, who make this all possible. Title is wrong for me. Oh yeah, I didn't actually update the title. I'll update the title as well, which Sheepy will let us know now. Oh hi, Sheepy.
Hey there, guys. I'm gonna say that the title can be. God, I was gonna say the bottom, but that just sounds wrong.
I don't know.
Call it Slumming It. Why not? Because I'm just assuming at this point you guys are going to go into the bottom of the hive and dredge around there for a little while. We'll see.
I mean, at this point, anything could happen.
If you guys end up wandering into the hive and getting invited to a well-to-do party, it'll just be an ironic title, and that'll be cool too.
And we'll probably kill everyone, let's be honest.
I could only assume so.
But hey, Sheepy, who are you? Where can we find you online?
Hi there, guys. I'm Sheepdog. I do 40K GMing. At this point, through the week, I'm now scheduled to do 4 shows from Tuesday to Friday GMing 40K. And tomorrow is the 2nd episode of my own show, Charlie Foxtrot, which is Imperial Guardsmen getting killed in an invasion, which is going to be fun.
Is that the one? I've just put the pieces together in my head. I know we were talking about before the show. Is that the one that you sent me the artwork?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good.
That's the one I want a full Scrat complement team on for 2 episodes. Because I have guests in every 2 episodes to play for a mission type thing, and then we move on to other players and everything.
Yeah, we'll make that happen somehow. We'll do it. Let's go around and say hello to everyone else. Hi, Pretend with Dice, AJ.
Hey, how's it going? I'm AJ. I'm the host and GM of Pretending with Dice. We're a actual play tabletop RPG podcast. Been running just under 2 years. Actually, a week on Saturday is our 2-year anniversary. So yeah, we play all kinds of tabletop stuff in short story arcs and things. So yeah, happy to be here.
Fantastic, and very happy to have you here as well. And also happy to have Jess with us. Jess, oh hi.
Hello. I'm Jess. I play on D20 Dames, a D&D all-woman family-friendly podcast. I host and GM Bitches and Liches, which is a Blue Rose podcast, and I play on Humanera, a Numenera podcast with an all-queer cast. You can find all of that stuff on our website, rightjess.com, because there's also tons of other stuff that I'm not going to spend all your time listing.
That is the best title I've ever heard, Bitches and Witches. I love it.
I think it's liches.
Bitches and Liches, yeah.
Bitches and Liches? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's still just as good, to be fair. I mean, yeah. Also, today, Anjali is going to be with us. But they've got caught in traffic. They have to do that horrible commuting thing. I empathize with them. I used to have to do it myself. It's much better now I work from home. Trust me, it's great. It's so good, you all. My life's so great. Sheepy. Oh hi. Let's do the thing.
Which bit of the thing would you like me to recap?
Oh boy, my recap may be spotty and involve a lot of cussing about handcuffs.
Handcuffs, yeah. Well, why don't you give us Jim's perspective of what happened last episode, and I'll fill in the blanks.
All right. So we started off in that guy's office. His name was Musculius. That's it. The one that Selena has a unhealthy attraction to. And he's never wearing a shirt or a poncho or anything. Anyway, he told us that we'd upset some sort of secret mission, and then we had to be retransferred, or he had to be retransferred, and we had to go to some hive planet or something. Selena knows all the details, I'm sure. I hope she was making notes. We got transport to the city, to the planet. We landed, we parachute jumped onto the planet. The damn handcuffs ended up on me again.
Yeah.
And we spent about 3 hours fighting some village militia / muggers, whilst I spent most of my time handcuffed. And then that guy's face and hands melted.
He thought they did. It was a hallucinogenic grenade. So he was screaming about how his face and hands were melting, but they weren't melting. Yeah, so you guys have been... Oh god, with all of that... You've been dropped on Menden, which is a hive world. With the Heresy squad, of course, who helped you out in the fight with some random muggers, pretty much. You fought them off, you killed, I think. Did you kill all of them? I think you killed all of them before making off to a safe house.
It sounds like our MO.
Yeah. The whole episode was slowed down by non-stop laughter, I believe, a little bit, where it was just like we couldn't believe the rolls that were happening, and so the fight took a bit longer than we wanted because we had to stop to compose ourselves. But there was one other thing. Jim rolled so badly that a hand from the nether reached out, just like a little dark shadow floating in the air, reached out and bent his gun.
I had repressed that memory.
And then went back in. In fact, I believe you have a trait now. Jim, would you like to read out that trait?
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I altered it very slightly. It's called Hunted.
Hunted, something has seen you, and then there's Cheapy's little weird fang emote thing.
Yeah. So there's that trait. That's that's going to be fine. That's not going to come into the game at all.
Yeah, and the guy who seemed quite professional last week. There always seems to be one professional soldier who joins us every week.
Yeah.
No pressure, anyone. He told me that I should probably go and get myself turned in or reassigned or something.
Yeah. He was worried for you because it's very, very strange for a demonic hand to reach out of the nether and just do something like that.
I mean, I thought it happened to everyone.
Sure. You could believe that. And then you guys quickly kicked in a door of an abandoned, like you're in kind of like a ruined area outside the Hive City, and you kick down like a door to a ruined house, and you've holed up in there for the evening before you decide what to do with the next day where you want to go. Your mission, in basic terms, is get into the hive get into one of the hives on this planet, figure out what exactly the Harlequin Rose cult is, infiltrate it, interrogate someone about it, just find out about the Hidden Rose cult was Musculius's basic message, and you're being the Heresy squad has left, giving you a sad glances as they leave, I think, and they've been reassigned somewhere else, and a new team is going to be brought in. At this current moment in time, it's actually just you, Jim, because Selena's gone off to check out the Hive City and see if there's like a way you can get in and undetected, or whether there's like border checks or anything to get in. So
yeah,
you're
Jim
sitting there.
Jim will be spending the time removing and then destroying in as many ways as possible the handcuffs. Every link, every piece of metal, every screw, melting, breaking.
I'd like to give you an option here instead. Would you like to practice with the handcuffs to the point where you don't need to roll to get out of them?
Yes! That's what I'll do. Yes!
But you do know that if you roll badly, this episode could go right exactly the same as the next one, as the last couple did.
And thank you very much, Potato Hollow, for that sub, who's just given me a re-roll, which
nice.
suddenly feels very relevant.
Yeah. Because, like, this is the thing is, you know that if you roll badly repeatedly, if you, like, crit fail, those handcuffs are turning up again. And also, probably chat, if they get the chance, will screw you over with handcuffs somehow, like they did with Muscudius and me.
Yeah. Would you consider...
Interesting.
GM.
Mm-hmm.
That dislocating your thumb...
Okay.
...is a sleight of hand maneuver? Because I am slightly deforming my hand.
It's more slighting your hand.
Same thing?
But I'll say you have, like... Okay. You don't have keys for these handcuffs. Because I believe one of them were broken and the keys got lost in the ether when you guys fell.
Yeah.
So you can practice with them. You probably have, like, kind of lockpicky type things, you know, like long bits of metal that you can hook, etc., to try and get out. But yeah, if you roll badly, then if you roll well, then you'll be fine. You'll be able to.
Because I like the idea of the action movie dislocate better than the pick thing, because I know how my lockpicking goes.
Well,
I have a long track record.
Lockpicking would be either sleight of hand or security.
Looks like we got a new friend.
So you can use sleight of hand for lockpicking.
Still,
if you,
I think just thematically, you know.
If you'd like to dislocate your thumbs, then I'll say you can, but for the next, like, fairly small amount of time, you're going to have minus to your ballistic.
How big a minus?
Minus 10.
Deal.
Okay. So you don't require a roll now to get out of handcuffs, because you have been practicing dislocating your thumbs to get out of handcuffs. So every time you're in handcuffs now, you can just go clack, clack. Oh yeah, I'm out. But then you got two, like, droopy thumbs, and you gotta, like, how do you put? Actually, roll me a sleight of hand. See if you can put them back in.
Oh boy.
Because you got two dislocated thumbs at this point. Yeah. Okay. How do you put them? What do you, like, just shove them against your kind of shoulders or something?
I think I just slap them on my knee. You know, just the old click. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, Ozzy, who gives a reroll to you, Sheepy.
Ooh. I wonder who I'm going to use that on.
So do
Probably, it's probably going to be Selena when she's interacting with Muscudius again. Willpower, etc. So, I think just before you relocate your thumbs, there's a knocking on the door.
Who goes there?
And this is both of you two. So, whoever'd like to respond, feel free.
Are you heretics?
No.
No.
No, we're not.
All right, come on in then.
You can open the door, but your thumbs are still sagged.
Is it openable from the outside?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just call him in. I'm not gonna. I'm currently.
Come in.
Yeah.
So what you guys see is a ponchoed man. Feel free. If actually both of you roll me a scrutiny.
Scrutiny. Okay.
Scrutiny's not in a. Jim is not in a good place to be scrutinized right now.
I know, dude. It's fine.
So this is just a D100, is it? Sorry. Yeah.
When you filled out the sheet, you should just be able to click on the sheet on the like skill, and it'll roll everything for you.
That's a lot easier.
What you can do is, like, if you see scrutiny, it's
I found that now. Yeah. So yeah.
You just click on the name and then submit, and it will roll the thing. But we'll take your 15 because that's a really good roll, and I believe it's a success. Let me just double check, because it depends if it's. Oh yeah, that's a success. You get the impression, looking at Jim first time, that he's usually in good spirits, and he seems a bit subdued. Although there's a small part of him that also seems triumphant, like he's finally figured something out.
So he just kind of, it looks like he's sort of been through the wars a little bit. He's a bit down on his luck, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's been a definite dip in fortune recently for him.
Fair enough.
If you guys would like to give us a description at all of your characters, please feel free.
Sure. Including names, or are we? Yeah. Okay. I am Septimus Leroux. I'm sort of quite sort of broad-shouldered gentleman wearing carapace armor with a shotgun slung over my back, and kind of a quite intense look in my eyes to sort of check out the room around me and everything.
Okay.
Drusilla's a dark-skinned, bald woman, sort of slight build, with... You might be able to see some of the, like, cybernetics bits poking out.
Okay. So, clearly, someone who either has required or desired some bionic and mechanical parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to meet you.
Likewise.
I think probably around Jim there might be a bent pistol and a very broken chainsword.
Yeah. Oh god, your chainsword broke too. I forgot about that.
And 2 dislocated thumbs.
Well, I think at that point, as he says, "Good to meet you," that's when he slaps his thighs and his thumbs pop back in. You hear it like, "Oh."
I like to think that with the 15, I kind of clocked the droopy thumbs as I was walking in. I kind of tried to like stop myself from raising an eyebrow, but maybe didn't quite succeed. Yeah.
So you must be the new support.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, what exactly are you up to in here?
Well, I've been, I was detained in a skirmish when we hit the surface. My partner is currently out scouting, looking for patrols and all those sort of things. This is essentially our safe house, our HQ, our workout point. Tell me, did the Inquisitor give you any further instructions for us?
You guys would literally send in with help this team out. They have a job to do.
We weren't told anything. Just meet someone vaguely matching your description.
Yeah, I definitely know what the mission is. We're here to root out heresy.
I mean, that's the job, right?
Do you have any other information? Anything past that?
Anything specific?
We're looking for the Harlequin Rose. If you're familiar with it.
The Harlequin Rose cult. Just FYI. Because the Harlequin Rose is that brothel that you burned down on the other planet.
I never cleaned off my shoulder, so I'll lift up my poncho and lower my shirt to show the tattoo on my shoulder. They wear tattoos just like this one. I drew this one when I was going undercover. And it's a picture of a rose. And my partner, she's got this flower which can be made into this drug that makes people enjoy pain. It's heresy in its purest form.
Do I recognize the rose symbol at all?
You've heard rumors of it at the
Okay.
first, yeah. It's something that's been going around the system for a month or two. Growing in rumor and exactly what it is, but the actual details of it are so conflicting that you're not. Some people say it's like a demonic cult. Some people say it's like an organization that wants to secede from the Imperium. This kind of thing.
Okay, so it's not a complete sort of new thing then.
No.
Okay.
I think at this point, everyone in the Inquisition who's been brought in here is aware of something going on with the Rose, aside from possibly Jim and Selena, but no.
All right, so what's your plan? Do you have a plan, right?
Normally our plan is to find the heretics, and then we kill the heretics.
Pretty good plan.
We found a whole bunch in a brothel back on that other planet. The name I can definitely remember.
So can she be, because it is Carsium.
On Carsium, that's it. On Carsium we found a brothel and then a warehouse where they were manufacturing the drug. We're hoping to find something similar here as we take apart their operation piece by piece.
That sounds like a good plan.
I mean, it certainly sounds like a plan.
But yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. A plan's better than no plan.
I mean, we could do a little bit of scouting ourselves. I'm sure Selena wouldn't mind if we left. I can leave the password on the door.
Say, should we leave her a note or something?
Yeah, and Jim will quickly write 2 notes. The first one will say, Selena gone scouting to XOXO Jim. And then the second note will say, if you're a heretic, you can't come in, and he's just going to put that on the door.
Yeah. Okay.
Foolproof protection system.
No heretics allowed.
We really thought this one through.
I can see that. That's, yeah.
It's a pretty foolproof plan to keep all those heretics out of the safe house. I like it.
Alright, well, should we make our way into the nearest establishment? Be careful. The locals can be fairly hostile.
I'm always careful.
Glazed faraway look.
Lead the way.
Well, the truth is I don't much know the way just yet.
I will tell you this. It is a... Hive cities are spires that reach above the cloud line. So you can see where the Hive city is. It's like right in front of you, basically.
But I think we should go that way.
Yeah. Checks out, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So just for clarity's sake then, so we're kind of on in a building right sort of at the foot of the spire, is that?
It's probably about 20-minute walk. You're kind of on the outskirts of what looks like an old settlement or civilization. It's
Okay.
like ruined buildings. Like what probably happened is the initial settlers came here, set up, and then slowly this hive city was built by them, and then they moved in and abandoned it outside. So it's like, it's what you'd imagine from a kind of like apocalyptic film where everything's like just abandoned and discarded, and there's probably like a few raiders and people living out here, but for the most part everyone lives in the city.
Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. For the most part, we're supposed to stay on the DL. This is a secret operation. I keep opting for blow the whole planet up, but they don't seem very responsive to that up top. So we're sort of like a hypodermic operation, if you will. We need to get in under the skin of the Heresy and root it out without disrupting the planet too much.
Does that mean we need the fake tattoos as well?
I mainly use this for prison.
So unfortunately true. It went really badly. I have a question for Jim. Do you still have the drug in your injector?
I think I would have taken the cartridge out of the injector after that confusion with the police officer.
Okay. I just wanted to check. If you'd like to line up a different type of drug.
I'll put some slort in it, but I'm not gonna... I haven't actually dabbled in any slort yet this season. Maybe we'll change that today.
Okay. Good.
This campaign's gonna be the death of me.
Would you like to go to the hive? And what exactly would you like to do there? Would you like to scout it out? Would you like to go in? What's your objective here?
Should probably scout it before we go in.
Yeah, find like the lay of the land, see what the mood of the people's like.
Okay.
And if the
Something
mood's
like
too
that.
good, that could mean heresy.
Yeah. We can't have people having too much fun. That only leads to them straying from the Emperor's light. And that's the one thing that we're all about stopping.
Yeah. Emperor bless the Emperor.
Yeah, I feel like we're having kind of a gravelly voice off right now.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, no, so do I. It's a good time.
It's a shame Scratticus isn't here.
For background on Jim's voice, I asked Sheepy and Angeli what voice I should go with, and they immediately both voted for Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
And for Musculius's voice, it was me panicking as I introduced a, I guess, male prostitute into the scene, who gave her a foot rub. I don't know. I was just like, what's going on here? So, you guys post up on a nearby mound. I think probably actually it'd be like a not completely destroyed building that's kind of still standing, got a bit of a height on it. So you guys jump up into the top of there and have a look. And let me just have a little look-see. Drusilla, what parts do you have?
She has an optical
Mechadendrite.
Mechadendrite.
So, for people who don't know 40K, the Adeptus Mechanicus in general tend to make use of what you could kind of call Doc Octopus kind of tendrils for many, many different things. Some of them have weapons on them. A lot of them are for manipulating and using kind of tech and this kind of thing. The optical one, I believe, gives you a bonus to your sight. It's almost like an automated telescope. Mm-hmm. So what you guys see, I assume you have this like hidden under robes for Drusilla. What you guys see as you get up here is just this like slight rustling and mechanical whizzing sound, and then just this this kind of snaky tentacle type thing comes out the back of the hood that Drusilla has on, and just like starts pointing at the hive, and then just extends out like a telescope being extended. And let's get an awareness or scrutiny from everyone. And Drusilla, for the sake of this, I don't know what the exact rules are on the optical. Do you have them, or?
Let's see. I do right here.
Awareness or scrutiny, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says that it grants a +10 to all vision-based perception tests.
Okay. So take a +10 on either your awareness or your scrutiny. Nice. So, how did you guys do? Oh, you both got 3 degrees of failure. Okay.
Going well.
So, no one can stare like Jim. Unfortunately, you're not that close, and he's basically just... He looks like he's having a stare-off with this huge spire and city. Septimius, sorry. You are... I think in the context of this, you're a little bit too worried about Jim. Like, you have a look, and you're like, it looks safe.
This guy had like loose thumbs when I walked in the room.
Yeah, he had loose thumbs. He
didn't really, it didn't instill me with confidence from the get-go.
No, and you're keeping an eye on him because you've been in the Inquisition for a while. You've seen people lose it, and it's never pretty. So you're just making sure that he's not going to either, go nuts or go demonic.
You can never be too careful with these things.
Drusilla, you on the other hand, you kind of hook in mentally to this megadendrite, and you see there's a few entrances to the city. There's a few paths and roads like leading up to the entrances. None of them being guarded. Like a few people walking in and out, but mostly it seems at the very least that there's no one guarding it. And there's no kind of checkpoints or anything like that. There are a few kind of stairs going up higher into the city that can be taken, which are actually guarded. But the lower parts of the city, at least, are fine. So, depending on how you want to play it, you could get into the richer, like more affluent part of the city, or you can go into the slums, basically, without having to roll.
All right, yeah, Drusilla will pass that information on to her 2 friends who are staring just like blankly at each other, I guess.
Well, Jim's staring at the hive, and then Septimius is staring at Jim.
Yeah, I'm kind of like giving him a bit of sort of side eye, keeping like an eye on him, but like sort of also kind of trying to look like I'm checking out the spire. You're
like this, but you're looking sideways like this.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, unguarded entrances on the bottom floors, but it looks like if we want to get higher up, there are guarded entrances.
Well, at least we know where to start.
Guards make me think people don't want you to go someplace.
Yeah, that seems like that's probably why there are guards there.
Yeah,
and that's probably the most likely place we'll find Heresy.
Yeah, the cult don't want us bursting in. They're going to have people watching.
You guys would also know, because this is just like a general Imperium thing. People don't tend to care about the slums about the lower parts of a hive. So a hive will like dip down underground as well, and all the refuse and everything ends up at the bottom of the hive. People will live down there. People kind of live on every level. The higher up you go, the richer it is, the more, the better it is. Down in the slums, it's almost like living in a sewer. So kind of going into pretty much the bottom part of the city, it wouldn't be guarded. Quite often, even in hives, you'll have infestations of Xenos, even, who just find their way in, even gene stealer cults and Tyranids and stuff end up in there.
I don't like the sounds of that.
Very lawless.
Yeah.
Would it be plausible, looking at my new companions, to see either of them as perhaps a local looking for fun? If I was to quickly dress them up in my mind.
The Mechanicus very specifically have a love for machinery that's verging on heresy a lot of the time. So they tend not to be found in places they have their own quirks and everything, but their idea of fun is a night alone in a workshop with a whole load of mechanics. I believe, Septimius, are you a Arbiter? Or?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so...
Doesn't scream fun-loving teenager.
No. I'd say there's probably an air of cop about you that you just can't shake.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's kind of built into this guy's DNA. He's just
yeah.
Ah, the plainclothes detective. Yep. I see it now.
How do you do, fellow heretics?
I've come to purchase your heresy.
Oh boy.
Plus, I'm kind of wearing a cop outfit as well, which doesn't help.
Flak armor, shotgun.
Yeah.
It's...
Kind of screams not cool.
For example, if you put the poncho over him, he'd be a cop with a poncho on. That's the kind of... it's not hard to recognize him.
I think if we go up to one of them guarded entrances, we're not exactly going to be able to slip through.
Well, if they're just guarding because they're the richer floors, they might not have too many questions for us, as long as we don't look like we're coming up from the lower levels.
So,
I would think it'd be harder to get to the higher levels from inside than from outside.
Everyone roll me either logic or straight intelligence. Either one will do.
What is this logic you speak of?
Jesus, dude. Drusilla, you know, as you say that you're just saying it for their sake, because you're 100% right, and you're just you're trying to be polite about it a little bit, just spare some feelings and be like, but yeah, no, you're very aware of, if you go into the slums, it will be harder to get up to the more affluent areas.
Okay. So yeah, let's try to get through this guarded entrance on the outside before we try to go inside, because I think this will be a little bit easier for us.
All right, well, why don't we keep it close to the truth? We can just say that we're from the Imperium here on private business. And also let those guards know that I got attacked when I landed.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good place to start.
Works for me. Just hope that they're not part of the cult as well.
In my experience, everyone's part of the damn cult.
Everyone, you say? I give him a pointed kind of look, sort of a little bit suspicious.
All of a sudden, I feel like Jim needs a cigar just for the.
Heresy is everywhere. So, you guys would like to walk up to one of the stairs going up to the higher places.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a small line. People, honestly, you guys probably look a little bit suspicious because you're not garbed up in the type of robes and everything that people tend to wear in this hive. However, that's not completely weird. People move from hive to hive, everything like that. You join the line, they're processed through, get to the guard, who just looks at you a moment longer than he's looked at everyone else and says, "Where are you from?"
Carnage.
What are you trying to say?
That planet that we're from.
Oh, you mean the planet that you came from?
Yeah.
The one where you okay, so you're trying to say you're from the other planet, Cassia.
Oh wait, hang a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay.
We came here secretly, right, from that planet. It was a secret drop-off. So I'll say I'm from some other Imperium planet.
Would you like to say you're from Triok, which is the other one that you've been briefed on?
Sure.
Okay.
Triok.
And your purpose of business?
Private.
Okay. Well, that's not exactly how this works. What are you here for? Why have you come to the hive?
Information.
Are you trading information? What information are you?
I feel like he needs the cigar again. Sometimes.
Okay.
Looking to my party like, is this going well?
Would Drusilla have been able to pick up, like, as people were being processed ahead of them, like, what reasons they were giving for coming to the hive?
Oh, yeah, totally. Give me a... I'm going to allow this because Drusilla is a Mechanicus. Give me an interrogation or inquiry. Because Mechanicus are weird and they tend to be a little bit socially inept. You could totally interrogate people and pass it off as like, holy crap, what is with your rolls? Yeah, totally.
I don't know, but I'm into it.
There's a whole load of options, really. People coming in for a better life, they didn't like where they were. Triok's not amazing. Some people are just coming to visit family or friends, and there's some people looking to sell some of the stuff that they've picked up on other planets. Yeah.
Okay. The
information was terrible, just so you know.
Yeah.
You're very aware of that.
What my companion meant by information was we heard that people have been moving here to sell wares, and we're looking to see if this would be a good place to move to, because we don't have a great life back on Triok.
I've heard it's a crap hole.
Oh, it is. You've heard correctly.
I assume you are the one in charge?
Yes.
Yes.
I just give a thumbs up.
We get Mechanicus coming through. They're always very well behaved, and it's always for the good. It always turns out well for the hive and for the people who pay me. So yeah, I don't see a problem with you coming past. So
Excellent.
there you go.
My companions and I will go now.
If you could keep an eye on that one, and he points at Jim, like speaking kind of solo voice. We don't want to have to. We don't want to have to put anyone in jail. We don't have to. Especially not in the higher parts of the city. It just
Understood.
Seems a bit dodgy.
He had a rough landing.
We were attacked. After we landed.
You were attacked.
He
Where
banged his head on the door frame leaving the ship. He'll be fine in a day or two. It's fine.
Oh, okay, of course.
Yeah.
Jim just turns looking at Setsu and he's like, that's a damn lie.
Do you say that's a damn lie?
No, but that's the look on his face.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see if it's noticed.
Oh boy.
Nope. No idea. This guy. You may want to consider hiring better bodyguards next time, but as long as you keep them in line, it's fine.
Thank you. I will certainly try to keep an eye on him. All right, in we go.
And you guys start heading up these stairs.
I say to Jim, look, I'm sorry about that, but he wasn't buying your story.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's fair enough.
Cool.
All right, where should we start?
You were so close to being marked as a spy. Like a really bad spy.
Well, everything so far has been related to drugs.
Yeah.
So maybe we should look around and see if we can see any potential dealers or anything like that.
Yeah. Back on my world, shaking down punks was my bread and butter. And they all got the same MO, no matter where you are. Let's have a look around.
Side eye.
Would you guys like a little... Would you like to roll for some ideas on possible avenues to investigate this?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
I think Jim's just going to go about his usual way, because he does have a talent called Intoxication Aficionado, which gives him bonuses to acquiring drugs. So he'd just, that would be his route to find the drugs, would be to try and acquire some drugs.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, I will say, Drusilla, go with your logic again. Septimus, I think if you'd like to come up with something yourself, like an idea for you, then roll me. Let's go with survival. If you'd like to kind of start asking around and this kind of thing, go with inquiry.
Well, not so much asking around. I just kind of want to keep a sort of general look at kind of how, like my years of like cop work would like. I would just think, you get a sense of like, okay, no matter where you are, the people who are like dealing in illicit stuff, they generally got a similar pattern of behavior. So I just kind of want to keep an eye out and see if anyone jumps out at me as like, oh, they're acting a bit sort of.
So maybe like some kind of street stall that's selling
kind of
or something, and you just want to like sit down there and people watch for a bit.
A little bit, yeah. I'm not actively like walking up to anyone and going like, hey, so where'd you get the drugs from, or anything like that.
You want to take a bit more of a passive stance and just see what you see in this.
Yeah. Just see if anything jumps out at me as like, that's a bit dodgy,
Roll me a awareness with a +10 for your experience.
Awareness with +10.
And Jim, let's have a look at poor sweet Jim.
I was gonna say, with Septimius knowing a lot about like how, people generally act, Jim's feeling a lot like he just came here to have fun, but he's feeling pretty attacked right now.
Yeah. Okay, so
I failed by 4 degrees, so I mean, I don't think you got a lot to worry about.
You can re-roll. Don't forget, guys, you do have fate points.
So there I hang on to the fate points.
Yeah. You never know when you're going to end up in a city-wide brawl because Jim's like shot the sheriff or something.
That is true, but I do only have 2 fate points, so
Yeah, sorry.
I think I'll just take the loss on this one.
Okay. And Jim, would you? Here's something you might be able to do. And I just need to get something up. Would you like to pick a couple of pockets of people you suspect might be drug dealers?
Ooh. Ooh.
Hmm.
I would like to pick the pockets of some potential drug dealers.
Okay. So the first thing we need is we have to find out if Jim can figure out who are drug dealers.
Yes.
So, let's go with a... Do you have scrutiny? You don't. What do you not have scrutiny?
I don't have scrutiny, but I do have plus 20 to acquiring drugs, so...
You do. So, you also don't have awareness.
No.
Can we use my logic roll for Drusilla to point out potential drug dealers?
Your logic roll is specifically ideas for
gotcha.
how to go about. So you wouldn't be able to I don't think Drusilla's the type who knows a drug dealer when she sees one.
Definitely not.
Possibly even if someone came over and was like, "Yo, I've got this really good stuff," you're like, "Yeah, but I like gears and cogs and guns and weapons."
Not understanding that it's drugs. Yeah, that sounds great.
You dress down this drug dealer for not selling guns and stuff. Come back when you got something proper. Jim, I'm sorry. Scrutiny or awareness or survival plus 20?
Any of those will be fine. They're basically all the same roll.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see some people? Would you like to pickpocket them?
Yes, I would.
Roll me a sleight of hand and just don't roll badly.
May I also add my plus 20 for acquiring drugs?
No, they're probably not drug dealers.
But Jim doesn't know that.
Wow.
Just a second. I don't know what to do with you, Jim. Seriously. Let's have a look here. So yeah, Drusilla, your basic ideas, you do a very quick calculation. You probably have a data slate on you, which you can just pull out. You do some mathematical equations. You kind of do a couple of things, working things out in your head. And on that logic roll, 2 degrees of successes, you figure the best way to go about this is looking through contacts, maybe. The fact that Septimius has background in law means he could probably go and chat with some of the security forces. They don't tend to be law keepers, they're more enforcers to a certain amount of rich people. But that could give you an in to certain areas. They might know rumors and things like that. The other way would maybe be keeping an eye out, seeing if you can find anyone dealing or any kind of whiff of the drugs, and then just interrogating them. It's not uncommon for people just to be grabbed off the street. Even here, this isn't the top echelons of the hive, so it wouldn't be weird if someone just grabbed someone, dragged them into an alleyway and beat the crap out of them. So you can relay that to your team. Jim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, saying my name and then counting is terrifying.
Roll me a D17.
D7. Isn't that like Eminem's old band or something?
D12. 8.
This laughter is an attack.
I don't know what to say about this. Jim, roll me. What could I have you to roll for this? Why is this here? Roll me a sleight of hand again. Just because if you roll badly, it's gonna go really wrong. Okay. You bump into someone. Oh, sorry. Kind of like maybe even seeming a bit drugged or a bit drunk under the influence. And you're like, you feel something in your hand, which you quickly slip on under your robes as you kind of totter away. Would you like to try again before you look at your haul, or?
Hell, why not? When you're doing well at the crease, you keep on batting, right?
Okay, same roll again, scrutiny or awareness or survival of +20. Alright. You have rerolls if you'd like to use them, dude. Roll me a sleight of hand again. Yeah, roll me a D17. Okay.
This is a very ominous silence here.
I'm sorry, I don't know what this is. I've never seen it.
Oh my god. So much fear right now.
Don't worry, it can only end well.
Okay. Again, you're kind of stumbling down. You see another person, as indescript as everyone else, and you just bump into them, and you come away, and you've somehow managed to slide your hand into a glove and moved off with it. It's a recoil glove. Basically, what this does is you can fire a basic weapon with one hand without the normal -20 penalty.
Oh.
So technically speaking, you can fire a pistol and I guess like a bolt gun without a -20 penalty. You don't know why that person would have it. You also have something else under your robes, which you need to look at a certain point. So, yeah.
Jim is a little disappointed that he's stolen a glove. This is just starting to feel a bit like larceny and not so much like investigation.
Would you like to go to an alleyway and see what else you got?
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of sway into an alleyway and make sure no one's looking, and then you pull out this collar. It looks a little strange. It looks maybe like roll me. Oh god damn! I really want you to know what this is. Roll me a tech use. Oh god.
I don't think I've ever rolled tech use before. Oh, no.
No.
Would I have noticed him pickpocketing people?
Roll me a scrutiny. Jim, this is a mechanical collar. No, you didn't see him.
Okay.
This is a mechanical collar of some kind. Maybe it's like, maybe it's jewelry. Maybe it's you don't know.
Maybe Drusilla will be able to tell me what it does.
That seems possible.
I will head back towards the group.
Okay.
Not mentioning my pickpocketing spree just yet.
All right. Jim comes back. And oh god, Jim. Septimius, you haven't really been able to notice too much, and Drusilla, I've given you what you've kind of figured out in your planning brain. So
It's quiet. Can't see any drug dealers anywhere. Might be losing my edge.
Yeah, maybe this isn't the right route for this. We can probably go about this another way instead of just standing here staring at people and hoping that drugs appear.
Stands to reason maybe all the drug dealers were on the lower level.
Why? There's no money on the lower level.
That's a good point.
I would think it's more likely the drug dealers would be on even higher levels with people who would have enforcers who could protect them.
Yeah, makes sense. All I know is I can't see any here.
I might have some leads, but I'm not sure.
What'd you find?
Best to show you in somewhere a little more private.
you can easily there are abandoned buildings around here, so you can easily cut in.
Yeah. As we dip into one, I saw a suspicious-looking individual, so I slipped my hand into his pocket and found what I think is a slave device. And I pass over the collar to Drusilla, not really sure what it is.
He's also got a glove on his hand, which you recognize as a recoil glove. They're quite cool. Drusilla, roll me a tech use, and I'm going to give you a +20 here, just purely because A, Sheepy wants you to know, and B, you probably would know. It's pretty simple.
Oh, no.
Would you like to fate roll that?
Yeah, yes, I would love that.
Oh, a crit fail as well. Dang.
Yeah, take a reroll with the same. There you go.
Much better.
So, I'm so glad you guys get to know what this is. 'Cause it's so fucking random. This is known as an explosive collar. They're used in the penal regiments and on penal colonies to keep prisoners in line. They are attached and then they can be exploded. It's a lot like in Suicide Squad when they just, they can just,
And can it not be exploded if it's not connected to someone?
Oh, it totally can, yeah.
Set that down, and we should probably get away from that. We don't know. That can explode, and we don't know who has the part of it that can make it explode.
Where did you say you found it?
A distraction, though, if we need one later.
Yeah.
You could probably mess with it to disable the detonation and rewire it for you, so you can set the detonator.
But if I roll poorly, will I just kill all of us?
If you roll really badly, it will explode. And yeah.
Just be a short episode this week.
How did you manage to pickpocket a goddamn explosive collar, Scraps?
I don't know, but I have so much fear right now. I don't want to roll any critical fails anytime soon.
You know what's funny is if you'd have failed that sleight of hand, that was going around your wrist, and it was gonna be another I have to an explosive collar. Yeah, why not?
Why not? All right, Drusilla will try to disarm it.
Okay. That will be a tech use. And again, this is pretty simple, so I'll give you a +20.
Jim probably tries to stand almost directly behind Drusilla.
Okay, so this isn't a critical fail, so it's not going to explode.
That's good.
What I'll tell you is that with the 4 degrees of failure, you can disarm it, but you can't rewire it to explode when you want.
Okay.
So basically, whoever has the remote controller, they can't explode it anymore. It won't just randomly go off.
Okay.
Or if you'd like, you could re-roll and try to set it so that you can explode it.
For now, Drusilla's just glad that it's not going to explode unexpectedly on them. And if they need to use it for distraction later, then they can try to figure out something else.
Sure.
At least it's safe.
I mean, if you try again and crit fail, it will explode still. So
That's what I'm worried about.
yeah.
I used up all my good rolls earlier, and now we're in trouble.
Explosives in hand now is the time for the bad rolls.
Exactly. All right, well, at least it's disarmed for now. Maybe...
Seems... Please carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was going to say maybe be careful with your, investigating suspicious people and not just taking things that are explosive.
Yeah, who did you even take this off?
Can I still see the person?
You guys went into a house, like you literally bumped into someone random. They were probably like probably have an idea that they were a bit richer looking, a bit bit more affluent looking, but who knows what they were doing down here.
Yeah, it's just one of the more affluent folk.
So if Drusilla was able to recognize this as something that's used in a penal colony, would she have any idea of why someone might have one here?
If any of you would like this, just roll me a logic. I'm gonna say just straight up logic again.
Yeah, I think with this kind of my kind of like Arvitae's background, would that have any sort of bearing on like, I've seen these before?
Probably not, because they tend to be penal worlds, and Arvitae tend to be more like enforcers, peacekeepers on other planets. Like
Fair enough.
A penal world or the penal regiment even is like you just kind of have the prisoners there, and then other people, you don't have like a police force on penal.
Fair enough. I was just thinking the sort of the police connection, prisoners thing, but I failed with 4 degrees anyway, so.
I mean, the second we're back to non-lethal rolls, Drusilla's rolling well again.
It sounds right. As long as our lives are not in danger, I can do really well.
It appears to be all of the mental figuring, like tactical figuring things out where Drusilla shines. So yeah. So Jim, you have no idea. You're not even 100% sure it's a exploding collar still. Septimius, you've never even seen this
Looks
before.
like we got a new
To be honest,
friend.
like they're outside of your wheelhouse. And Drusilla, the most likely explanation is some rich, bored, noble type official, maybe, uses them to punish people he doesn't like, or like servants who treat him, who he feels slight him, things like that. Other uses for it could just be, maybe someone freed a penal colonist, like bought them and is using them for something. Who knows?
Well, whatever this person is using it for, it seems likely that they would have the controls for it, because you wouldn't just walk around with a collar that can explode if you are not the one who can make it explode. I would hope.
It's a logical way to think. Yeah.
Unless he likes to live dangerously.
Yeah, that's a pretty dangerous way to live, though. So if we're interested in that, we can check into that, but it might just be a rich person.
Can you tell if it's if the detonator is wired into the latch mechanism? Is it one of them things that you can't take off?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't take this off this guy's wrist or anything like that.
No. It was literally like in a pocket, and you were like, "Aha, drugs!" Score.
Drugs in collar form. All the kids are doing it this way.
Yeah.
I mean, it would certainly make for an explosive experience.
Oh.
And then
I'm sorry, I can go.
A little drum set comes out of the top of just 2 mechanical little arms go badumts.
That's an expensive cybernetic attachment, that one.
but so worth it.
Yeah.
It's called the Mechanicus pun indicator.
So how much damage do I take from that pun?
I mean,
That was a critical one. Critical fun.
Yeah.
We have to make a perils from the warp check or whatever it's called. Okay, well, maybe we should move further in. Obviously not getting much around here about this cult. Maybe keep an eye out for the sign of the rose on anybody's, I don't know. I don't think they'd wear it on their clothing out in public, but you don't know, do you?
No, usually it's an arm tattoo, or at least it was back on Heresy.
So keep an eye out for people wearing sleeveless hoodies and things like that. Hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah, let's take a look.
okay, going for a stroll, everyone. Awareness, scrutiny, or survival plus 30.
Plus 30. Okay, nice.
Plus 30, yay!
Well, that's not great, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 100. No, that was you that rolled 100.
Yeah,
thank God.
that's why I said it wasn't that great.
Yep.
I rolled an 81, which is nice because it's like a prime number squared. Cubed.
Since our lives aren't in danger, Drusilla figured it out.
Drusilla's still on it. Septimius, would you like to re-roll this critical failure?
Yeah, I think I probably should.
I mean, it's up to you.
Well, with a 100, I think now's the time.
Okay.
Still plus 30.
Still plus 30. Okay, yeah. Drusilla and Septimius, as you're walking down the street, you start to hear a voice yelling like a fruit stall owner. Jim, still looking out for that person with the collar. You're wondering if he's like around here somewhere. So you're not really concentrating, you don't hear the voice. The voice is yelling, ladies and gents, step up. We have drugs, we have women, we have men. Come one, come all. To the best den of iniquity in town.
Well, that was easy.
That's a bit on the nose, but okay.
Just had to walk a bit closer into the city.
That's true. We did basically walk through the entrance door and immediately start accosting people.
I don't think we found a plot hook. I think we found the plot sledgehammer. There it is.
It's a plot grappling hook.
You know, it's like the laws are changing slowly on these planets because they're only recently, they've only recently joined the Imperium. So, yeah, it's much like the other planet. There's just a den of iniquity right here.
Well, this is. I don't know about you guys, but this seems like it's probably what we're looking for. Yeah. We step inside. Try to keep a low profile.
Oh yeah, sure,
hopefully.
You three, you look like you're not averse to fun. And he kind of gives you a quick look. Here, take this flyer. 50% off your first drugs or man or woman. Go, have fun.
And where do I take this flyer to receive the drugs?
Oh, it's just down the street on the right. You can't miss it.
I do like a bargain.
Jim's such an idiot. He's gonna lift his sleeve to reveal the rose and be, do you have any special offers?
Are you... Okay. Roll me a... charm, I think, would be this one. And
Oh, I didn't put anything in charm.
I'll give you your plus 20, just purely because it's drugs. Are you going to ask for...
I was thinking maybe deceive, but then I started thinking about it and decided against asking.
And the man who we all thought was going to tell Jim to go to hell says, you know what? Seeing as you're a brother and everything, here you go. And he gives you like this little card, very small.
Thank you, friend. It's down there on the right, you say. Thank you.
Go enjoy yourself. It's a good time.
Seems the cult has spread even. I'm assuming walking away from this
Oh,
guy
yeah, absolutely.
before I start saying things like this. Yeah.
I'd only enforce you still being there if it was Jim saying it, because that's something Jim would actually do.
Yeah.
It seems these heretics are about to die.
Yeah. I was going to say, seems the cult spread even this far down.
I think even as like as he's having this conversation and successfully charming this person, you know, like when in Django when like he's clearly in a room full of people and should not be fondling his gun because he's going to give himself away. Jim's kind of doing that in a way.
Just absentmindedly like cocking the hammer back on your gun and stuff, and just flipping it round on your hand and just putting it back in.
Not quite flipping around, but definitely, you know, like, because I'm always screaming at the telly when he does it, like, why are you giving yourself away like this? But like, you know, that's 100% what Jim's doing right now.
So you guys walk down the street. You come to a kind of a corner. Looks a bit like either like a you know, like how theaters look with the overhang of the thing, and then walk in. A bit like a club, maybe. A couple of people on the door. They don't seem to be like stopping anyone walking in or out. The people around here are a lot more jolly and kind of, you can notice easily enough a few inebriated, like stumbling out and walking down the street. There's a dude urinating up against the wall around the corner there.
Classy.
Because there always is. There's always some dude. I was a bouncer. There's always some dude urinating against a wall.
It's always one.
Yeah, I worked in a bar. This is true.
Yeah.
I grew up in Vegas. It is true.
No.
I've been to a bar.
It's true.
I haven't got a...
Oh my god, you're the guy!
It's me, I'm the guy. There's always one.
And it's always me.
No, I'm not that guy.
That was slander. That's not... I didn't mean that.
Okay.
Well, let's go in then, I guess.
I want to kind of do my best, despite lack of like disguise or anything, to just kind of not be kind of making myself look kind of big or anything. I know I describe myself as kind of like a broad-shouldered kind of big guy, but I'm very aware that we're walking into as you said, a den of iniquity, and I am wearing a cop's outfit. So I do just kind of want to just kind of be a little bit sort of, I don't know, keeping it on the DL as much as I can.
Just doing the whole...
I like that you've got props. That's great.
So as you walk in first and you walk towards the door, one of the bouncers on the outside goes, officer, go right in.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Always.
Is it just me, or does this seem strange?
Well, I've never been to a drug house before, so I can't speak to that, but something definitely seems odd about that. But it was also odd that there was someone just advertising drugs on the street, so...
It seems like it's fairly accepted on this planet. I knew we should have bombed the planet from orbit.
That would have been the prudent thing to do, yes, but we're past that point.
All right, I guess let's go check it out.
Yeah, walking in. What's the first thing that sort of strikes me?
Oh, it is murky, dark, smoky, flashy, like lights going off. There's weird music, like strange beats. It's all very trippy to a certain extent. But that's a little bit further in. Currently, we're at the coat room. And there is a man inside who says, if you'll just deposit your guns, you'll get a voucher and you can pick them up on the way out. All weapons, not just guns.
Jim's looking at him like he's just asked to take his child.
I don't think you quite get how this works, son. I'm a man of the law, and I just got waved in here. I'm not giving up my shooting gun.
If you want to come in, you are. It doesn't matter whether you're a man of the law. If you're here for a good time, you don't need it.
Playing hardball, eh?
Well, just following the rules of the establishment. If you're here on official business...
I can't disclose the nature of my business, I'm afraid.
Right. Well, I assumed you're off duty and here for a good time. Are you here for a different reason?
Look, let's not get into the hows and whys of why I'm here.
Okay. I'm here for information.
I hit my head getting off of the ship. I don't.
This isn't the restroom.
Say, kid,
Yes?
how much for you to overlook my gun?
More than you can afford. I get paid quite well.
Shit.
How much information do you need if you know that someone is here on official business?
Trying to figure that one out.
It's a logic puzzle.
Are you here to make a delivery?
Lift my shoulder.
Oh god. And then he moves in closer and like bends forward and kind of gets come closer. Okay, here we go. I'm teary-eyed but never cry, silver-tongued but never lie, double-winged but never fly, air-cooled but never dry. Answer. You can roll if you would like. I'll put it in chat.
I'm trying to figure out what I would roll as well. I'm sort of wow.
That would be logic, or intelligence with like a -20 maybe.
Teary but never cry, silver tongue but never lie. No, I don't know. What would I roll to try and for Jim to try and figure it out?
Logic or -20 intelligence. Actually, I'm going to say -30 intelligence because it's much more logic than intelligence.
And did we hear that as well? Can we also try to roll for it?
All three of you heard that one.
Okay.
That was close, Jim.
That was close. Do you know the laws of averages are really against me right now?
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna go for a reroll anyway, because I kind of want to. I'd like it if Jim, you know. Oh, could I add +20 for acquiring drugs?
Not on this one, no.
Damn.
Oh my god, so close!
Damn.
Oh, I do have with my quest for knowledge, I can spend a fate point to automatically succeed at a logic or lore skill test.
There you go.
So I'm gonna do that.
Okay. I'll message you something.
Hang on, I keep my password stored in my Mechanicus friend.
I mean, who doesn't? Okay.
The new iFriend.
Did you still also see Jim receive the card from the flyer person?
Probably, yeah. It was he was like, "You got anything else for me?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, sure." Well, like very obviously.
So she'll sort of like elbow and be like, "Flash the card," and also lean in and say, "The answer is Mercury."
It is. If you guys want to take a moment to read the riddle and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, see."
That's what I did.
Mercury as in the Greek god or the element?
Both.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mercury's silver. It's liquid even in the air,
Yeah.
and double winged because the god Mercury has the.
It's a good puzzle.
It's one I would have never got, honestly. I will flash the card and say, Mercury.
Oh, well, would you like to do business first, or would you like to do this first?
Ah, shit. Business first. Look to my
Okay.
companions. Business first. Business.
Yeah, all about that business.
Business. Don't like it hanging over me when I'm trying to have fun.
Well, right this way, and then after you've concluded your business, I guess we'll show you to the VIP room.
That
Come
sounds
along.
great. Yeah.
And like you walk through, and there's people like just laying out on over like like chairs and bean bags and all that kind of stuff, except for futuristic tea. I don't know what would be in a drug den in 40K in the Hive City. I'm gonna be honest, but whatever it would be there is what is there. It's my best description for this. Also, you guys doing this has thrown me off a little bit. So.
Really? Us, Sheepy?
Just a scooch. So I'm going to leave you outside the door, like a big set of double doors. There's no guards on it or anything, but the man slips in, says, "Wait here. I'll just let them know that you're here." Slips in, and you guys have, let's say, a few minutes to discuss what you're going to do and what could possibly happen next, because she needs to pee. So go nuts.
So we're here to do business. What on earth sort of business
It's
could we be
probably
here?
some kind of drug deal, right? I mean, are either of
Yeah.
you particularly good at deceiving people?
No, not really.
No.
You could say I'm a beginner.
That's sure. Let's class it that way. Well, the drug thing seems to be business as usual for this place, but you had to show that tattoo to get into this special business. So maybe it's something to do with the cult, some cult specific business. Like, I don't know what kind of business they get up to, but maybe, yeah.
Seems particularly deep-rooted in this city. the way they just waved you in, I had to hide my shock.
Yeah, they weren't really. They didn't really question it. They just kind of, as soon as they saw that, they let you through.
It certainly seems like the cult is much more prevalent here than we realized.
Mm.
So, I'm just gonna ask here, how are we all feeling about where we are currently?
Nervous?
Confident?
Wary.
Did you guys have a chance to discuss your tactic or plan going into this?
I asked if we were good at deceiving each other.
Okay.
To which the answer was no.
Yeah, that was about as far as that went.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's see how this goes, eh? The man comes out, says, "All right, everyone, come in. Opens up the door.
Good day.
Hey, do you guys want to go in?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys walk in. How are you walking in? Are you walking in with one of you at the front and the two other like bodyguards, or are you just walking in as a collective group? Like, how would you like to?
I'd say collective group, right? I mean,
Well, I was
If I go
thinking
in shoulder to shoulder and get caught in the door frame.
yeah, that's a classic. If anyone's going to go forward, it should either be Police Officer Septimus or maybe Tattoo-bearing Jim. But
Well, I was thinking tattoo-bearing Jim, because that's what got us through the door.
oh, yeah, sure. yeah. Okay, I'll take head. I do have a single point in deception.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So-
more than I've got.
So I will take point and try and play off that I know exactly what kind of business we're doing here.
So, there is a lady sitting behind a desk. She's currently writing out some stuff, dealing with data slate as well, just kind of typing a few things and going back to writing. There is a man at her shoulder, kind of just behind her a little bit, standing there looking very relaxed. He's dressed in what initially you could guess would be like maybe military garb, maybe navy garb. You're not really sure. If any of you have laws, these can come into play if you'd like to figure out what these are.
Underworld.
I've got Underworld and Adeptus Arbitrate.
Adeptus Arbitrate with a -20.
Okay, let's do that one. So -20. Well, no. Failing by 5 degrees is probably not ideal.
No, you're not really sure. He looks maybe some form of military, possibly.
Okay.
And he's standing there. It's got a like a chainsword on his belt. Got a bolt pistol on the other side. At the very least, you can assume he's well connected and powerful. Probably rich as well.
Right.
And the lady looks up and says, "Yes, who's in charge? Who am I supposed to be meeting?"
I kind of nudged Jim from behind.
That'll be me.
Oh, okay, jolly good. Well, nice
New to
meet
the
you.
outfit. My first outing, as it happens. Nice to meet you.
They gave you this assignment as your first outing?
No, first in this assignment, I'm not green, so to say.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm here for information. Well, I'm Tammy. I'll put that in the chat for you guys, just in case you want to know how it's spelled, because it sounds like Tammy, but it's Tammy.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Tammy.
And you are? She doesn't even pay attention to the other two. The other two of you.
Rogers.
Rogers.
No, Rogers. Sorry, do you have a glass of water?
Yes, of course. Here you go.
Jim will take a drink of water. Rogers.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Rogers.
First name Roy.
Roy Rogers.
Yes.
I mean, at least it isn't Steve, hey?
So, how do we proceed? Do I need to speak to you, speak to the boss man? What's the deal here?
Oh, no. You just need to take the... Well, weren't you briefed?
Loosely.
Well, as far as we know, there aren't any security forces. You know, everyone's been paid off, so you should have a straight run. Honestly, take the stuff to the warehouse, and as far as we know, all the gangs have been paid off, so they shouldn't be a problem for you. But just be wary. Would you like a security force with you? You know, a couple of guys with guns. It shouldn't be necessary, but if you're feeling nervous about the cargo.
No, I think that should be fine. I did get attacked when we landed on the planet, though. Some local savages from the slums, I imagine, from the Underhive.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, my map got damaged. Could you mark the warehouse on there for me again? He holds up a pad with...
Did you pull out a map and is it actually damaged? Because you'd have had to have pre-damaged it for no reason.
Do you know what? He's gonna put his hand in his pocket. And he's gonna push his thumb into the screen as hard as he can.
Roll me strength.
Oh boy. Just
and a sleight of hand.
Okay. Strength roll first.
Uh-huh. Oh. How is it that the only time that would be terrible you managed to do it? You put your hands in your pocket and you go, my map is broken. Snap!
Oh, it's just come apart in my hands. I don't believe this.
Would you like to reroll that strength roll? It's a crit success, but it's a success to snap. Something like it's a very audible snap.
Yeah, I'll use a fate point to re-roll that, please.
I can imagine just in your pocket, you just stabbing your thumb straight through.
Yeah. What is? It's still a crit success. What is wrong with this campaign? What's happening? Why would you ever need to re-roll a crit success? And how could you get a second crit success?
I'm sorry, I think I just broke it a little bit more as I'm pulling it out of my pocket. It was stuck there.
Roll me I have to at this point. Roll me a deceive. Yeah.
I'll re-roll that as well, please.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
It's going well. It's really going well.
I don't know how you guys managed to get here and then do this. Like, none of the things that have put you in danger has been has been like your tactics or anything like that, but every time you have to come up with like an excuse or an explanation or whatever, it's like the worst possible way to go.
Oh, hi!
Look, don't think you can lie to me. I've seen through you. Which one of you is really in charge? It's got to be one of you, because it's not this one.
Drusilla steps forward.
I turn to Drusilla. I'm so sorry. And step to the back.
I knew it. I understand the need for secrecy and deception. I don't hold it against you, but now that we know each other, next time, there's no need for this type of thing.
You're absolutely right.
I assume you should have briefed your underling before you got here. It was too easy to trip him up.
Yes, it was. He had some information, but he did bash his head in pretty badly, and I think that is probably contributing to a large part of it.
Maybe not as large as you think, but yes. All right. Are you ready to? I assume you know where you're going.
Yes.
Good. Well, we'll bring out the cargo, and turns around. The man who's been standing behind her. How did you manage to screw yourself with crit successes, dude? The man behind, kind of in the military garb, bangs on a door next to him. Door opens, and this big, like, hover. It's kind of like one of those like pallets that can be pushed, except for it's hovering. Man walks out with one of those. Another one comes out. Another one comes out. These are like very, very large, stacked with crates. All right. Well, if you'll just take these off to the warehouse, yeah.
Yes. And actually, if the offer still stands, I would appreciate just one guard of yours to make up for.
Of course. Yeah, no problem. You do have a spare? 1 second. I need to get something up here because. Oh yeah, I remember. Here we go. You do have a spare person to send, don't you, Castro? And he looks down and he says, "Oh yes, of course. Come on, one of you lot. Just make sure the cargo gets to its destination, please." One salutes and says, "I'll do it, sir." And the crates are all ready to be taken away. I assume you don't want to partake before you leave?
No. Business before pleasure.
Good, very good. Well, if you ever want to come back, just know, VIP room is open to you.
How generous. Thank you.
Well, we're partners.
All right, and I assume that this guard knows where he's going in case we have any issues.
Looks like we got a new friend!
Well, we shouldn't, but just in case. And like passes something over to the guard. Actually, roll me a.
Oh no.
There we go. Roll me a. I think in this situation, I'm going to count it as logic.
Yes.
Just purely because it does totally make sense to have, the everyone know where they're going? Would you like to reroll?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Well, just in time.
No, there's no need for him to know where he's going. You have the knowledge, and we should keep up the semblance of security and safety, I think.
Yeah. All right. Let's head out.
Yes, no time to lose. Off you go. And you guys start pushing the crates out. There's a side door which will take you into an alleyway, and you can start pushing them. There is a guard with you, with a shotgun, who's kind of looking around, keeping an eye out, kind of casual.
And he doesn't know where we're going, which is the whole point of him. So he is useless to me.
That could have gone so much worse. And it almost did.
Well, what's your name there?
Nikki.
Nikki, why don't you lead the way for the general direction and we'll take over once we get a little bit closer.
Oh, I'm not from the hive. I'm with the boss.
Great.
I don't even know where I am.
So
I relate to you.
You couldn't really make your way back, is what you're saying.
I only got on planet today.
I
Okay,
relate to you
boss.
so much right now, Nikki.
I feel like there's a connection. We should go and pound some drugs later.
Lovely.
Oh no. Inquisitorial panic.
Did you say that out loud? Or?
No.
Oh no! The Inquisitor would be so upset with me.
I want to kind of look around. Is anybody sort of kind of appear to be keeping an eye on us other than Nikki? Nobody about? Or
no.
we're just...
There are people walking by, but this is, what I can give you at this point is that at least this area of the hive seems very much under the thumb of whatever's going on here. So, you got this from the conversation, like, they have paid off the gangs and the security forces and everything. So, effectively, whoever they are and whatever you just got into, they control this area of the city, of the hive.
Right.
So you shouldn't run into any troubles, but...
Just trying to think. I mean, I had the thought that we could, say to someone, hey, I've gotten turned around. Can you... all these hives look the same. Can you point me in the right direction for the warehouse? But I feel like if Nikki doesn't even know where he is, it's going to look a bit weird if we go back inside and be like, hey, but which way are we going again? Especially after Jim's attempt at that.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the double critical success had a lot to do with things not going horribly there. Because, and the way it happened as well, meant that because this hive is kind of, they're not being investigated as far as they know. There's no overt, they have the police under control and everything. They're not being cautious. If they're being cautious or anything, that would have gone a lot worse.
Yeah.
And yes, you 100% would know, walking back in and going, I I dropped my map. Can I have a new one? That would actually be a bit too suspicious.
Yeah.
So how many dollies do we have?
3. But they're very, very large. So they've got like they're about 3 crates, 4 crates wide, and 4 crates high. They're like carrying a crap ton.
So there probably wouldn't be an easy way for us to like lose Nikki so that he would have to go ask for directions and then we could just follow him.
The thing is who are you going to ask for directions from?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you lost Nikki, the most likely, and thing is you've had your kind of mental roles very well. I'll give you this. The most likely thing Nikki will do is go, crap, I lost them. Well, I'll just go report back to the boss and be like, I lost them, and then they'll just carry on because they're not too fast.
Okay.
Nikki's like looking around like, are we heading off or are we just gonna... I mean, you know, like it's safe here, but if you just hang out the front here for too long, someone's gonna come around and ask questions.
That's good. That's a good thought there, Nikki. That's a good thought. Let's go. I just start pushing the dolly like in the direction it's already pointed.
Okay.
We should definitely head toward like an alley or something, like a dark corner of some sort.
Yeah. Everyone roll me survival, let's say.
Okay.
Makes sense here. I'll give you a +10, just because I feel bad for you guys at this point.
I honestly don't know how we get ourselves into these messes.
I do. Yeah, Septimus and Drusilla, you see like kind of a side street that you can go down, which is empty, and then there's alleys down there that you can just kind of you were just taking a shortcut kind of thing.
Yeah, hang on right here, Nikki. This is a you know, it's a quick way to get to where we're going, and you know, the quicker we get done, the quicker you can get back and do some drugs with Jim.
Beautiful.
I know we're all excited about that.
You guys are so lucky that he wasn't in the room when he introduced himself as Rogers.
Oh yeah.
That's true. I almost blew it.
Yeah. For a second there, I was like, he's gonna have to react and be like, Jim? Who's Jim?
His name's Rogers, but we call him Jim.
His name is Jim Roy Rogers.
He wasn't in the room, so you're fine.
It's a military nickname.
He really likes to work out. That's why we call him Jim.
Honestly, the way this campaign and session has gone, it's like the brain is melting at this point. So, Nicky has his gun. He's not like pushing the crates unless you ask him to. He's more of a like security escort. And you guys go down the alleyway. Like it's kind of you know, it's wide enough for the dollies and everything. And it just goes on for a little while and then out on the other side to a street. And you guys start pushing through it.
Yeah, I mean, what's our? This is out of character. Like, what's our end game with this stuff? Are we?
It's a pretty good question.
I think we should like get Nicky, like take care of him, incapacitate him, and then maybe just like blow up these drugs.
That's true. Get them off the streets. Clean up this town.
Don't you mean crates?
Yeah.
Go to the warehouse.
You don't know what's in the crates.
That's true. We should probably see what's in the crates and then go from there. So maybe first incapacitate Nicky, hide him somewhere.
Maybe we hide him in a crate. And then throw the crates off a bridge. No,
We'll see what's in the crates and then decide from there what we want to do with them.
Step one is take care of Nicky.
So, in this situation, in an alleyway, and with him guarding you guys, I would say he would probably either be at the front or the back. Let's find out which way he goes.
I'm hoping for front, because it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yep, front. So I'm not even going to make you roll to incapacitate him. I'll just ask who does it.
I don't mind. Who's up for it?
I mean, I was dislocating my thumbs at the beginning of the episode. So if anyone else wants to, that's fine.
Crystal's not super strong, so she'd leave that to someone else.
Okay, I want to crack him in the back of the head with like the hard end of my shotgun.
Yeah.
I just love this like silent exchange as we're going down the alley. Like,
Yeah, and he's just wandering, like maybe whistling under his breath, like I left my lady back in Necromunda. And then Septimius just steps forward, is like, Nikki, just cracks him, and he goes down. There are like side doors and stuff. You don't know what these buildings are, but there are side doors. You can, either smash one in, try them, see if they're unlocked, etc.
Yeah, let's try to find a place to go inside of so no one just walks by this alley and sees us. Since we're like the alley next door to the place we were just in, I think.
You're pretty close. Like you have walked a little ways away, but you're not that far away.
Yeah. I want to grab Nikki's weapon as well.
Yeah. And would you like to search him? See if he's got anything else on?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Scrutiny.
Scrutiny is one of my things.
If you're checking the doors... Oh, there you go. Yeah, it had a las pistol and a knife as well.
Yeah, I sort of hold them up. If anyone want these, I might hold on to the knife. Unless you want it.
I mean, my chainsword's pretty broken.
Okay. Well,
But I mean, if you need the knife, I mean, I've got a las pistol.
no, I don't need it. It's just a nice knife. That's all,
While they figure out the weapons, Drusilla's gonna try doors.
We're being awfully British over here. No, you take the knife.
Look,
I couldn't possibly.
Not that bad off. So roll me an awareness, Drusilla.
Oh no.
You find doors, but they're locked. So you'll need a security or a sleight of hand to get in. So take your pick of doors.
All right.
Let's say there are 3 doors. 1, 2, or 3.
2.
Okay, the middle one, sure.
What's behind door number 2?
You're not sure because that is a bad security roll.
Yes, it is. But luckily, I know someone who's good at sleight of hand.
But unfortunately, as you pull out this like incredibly complex and expensive looking lockpick, it's like a mechanical lockpick that like whirs and clicks. You like shove it into this keyhole, and it just it kind of janks and clanks and clanks.
Oh no.
And it won't come back out. So
you didn't use the XD Yale 9000, did you? Those things have been faulty since the start, ever since the first batch came out.
Now someone tells me. All right, well, why don't you try one of the other doors?
I was gonna say, while this is going on, I've given Jim the knife.
okay.
Jim, if you insist.
You have a knife, buddy.
I will add to the stats for this later.
Overall session tally, net positive. Yay.
You've gained a knife.
One more weapon than last week. Yeah. And I will approach door number 1.
Okay.
And try Jimmy's handshake.
Yep. Ready? You wanna...
I've only got 1 fate point left. I'm gonna hold on to it if it's all the same to you.
That's fine. The door handle comes off in your hand. That's your handshake.
Do we hear the thud as like the handle?
Yeah. The other side, like clonk.
I guess I'll try door number 3 then.
Right. Security or sleight of hand.
Oh my goodness.
Nope.
Let me try Jimmy's alternate handshake. I'd like to kick door number 1.
Okay.
Not this time.
Screw it. You kick the door. It flies forward, and you're like, there we go. Walk forward. The door comes back, hits you in the face, but it's open. You don't take any damage or anything like that, but your pride is hurt, and that's enough right now.
I hate it when people put things right behind the door.
Can we just do a quick glance to make sure it's empty in there before we like pile everything inside?
Oh yeah, it's empty in there. It's an abandoned building.
Cool. Then yeah, let's get the crates and Nikki off the street.
Yep, you do it. There's no problems. Honestly, at this point, I don't even need to create problems for you.
Yeah, we create plenty of our own problems.
We
Yeah,
make our own
yeah.
luck, and it's bad luck.
Like, I had an idea of where this game might have gone, where this session might have gone, depending on whether you went up or down, like whether you went into the like middle class area or the slums, and it was all like, yeah, I didn't expect this. Like, out of everything, this is like the furthest away from where I thought you guys were going to take this. So, you're in an abandoned building. You have 3 dollies, hovering dollies, with crates, and an unconscious security guard who was assigned with you for a task which you have no idea what it is. From people who you have no idea who they are.
We did just kind of wander into a random place and be like, "Yep, we're meant to be here." give us the job.
To, like, bluff your way through, and oh god, it's so lucky that they are not on guard at the moment. Anyway, yeah, there we are.
Let's crack open one of these crates then, I guess.
Yeah.
Just scrap, because it should be scrap. Scrap, roll a D5.
Oh, I've lost my cursor. There it is.
Okay. There's a seal on them. I assume you don't mind about that. That's like, to show that they haven't been tampered with.
I mean, we weren't going to get them to where they were supposed to go anyway,
No,
because we
it's
don't
not
know where that
true.
is.
This, as you crack open the crates, the top of it kind of like it's like metallic, but there's obviously it's not like locked or anything like that. So the top of it just kind of is off and falls down. There is a large crate full of las guns.
Hey, Sheepy.
What's up, buddy?
Lord Conti just donated for a complication.
Are you sure we don't already have enough of that?
We make our own complications.
I love the loop this is throwing Sheepy through.
How can I make this more complicated?
It doesn't have to be immediate. You can wait for your next opportunity.
Lord Conti, can I use the complication for the end of the episode? Are you okay with that?
Oh boy.
This is going to take a bit of time anyway, so feel free to let me know. If not, I'll make this worse somehow. I don't know how.
I mean, Jim will pick up one of the las pistols and
guns. They're las guns.
oh, big las guns. Oh, this doesn't look like drugs.
Quite tough to snort a whole rifle.
God! Stop it! I can't take it anymore.
You're right that it doesn't look like drugs. I've also just had a thought. We arrived, and they assumed we were there to pick up this set of guns to take somewhere, which means that probably the people who are actually supposed to arrive to get these will be arriving very soon.
Yep.
That's fine. They haven't got any guns. Like, it's not going to be a problem.
That's a good point. Also, maybe we should not be so close to that place still.
Would you like to open the other crates?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, may as well.
As you crack open the crates, there are more las guns, there are frag grenades, there are flamers, there are what's the other thing? And there are las pistols. And I am just going to say straight up right now, roll me a logic or intelligence -20.
All of us. Oof.
Would anyone like to reroll?
I only have one fate point left.
Me too.
Same.
And Lord Conti said it was fine for me to use the.
Yeah.
You know
there's-
what? I am going to reroll, actually.
Okay.
And there's a crate of las pistols, right?
Roll. Roll that again, but roll it straight. So,
Oh, okay.
So no minuses.
It's good, because... well, I failed it by slightly less.
Oh, chainswords as well.
Oh, thank God. I will put a chainsword under my cloak where one belongs. I'd also like to pick up about 10 las pistols, because if hands are going to come out of the Nefer to just bend the barrels, I might as well stock up.
I will say you can take 3.
3, that's fine.
Yeah. 10 is a bit like
I'm currently only rocking a shotgun, so I might take a las pistol as well.
sure.
I'm tempted
Oh,
to
yeah.
grab a flamer, but all my skill is with the las pistols.
Damn.
Nice.
I don't have the stats to hand for las pistol, but just, yeah.
I don't
neither.
think any of you guys have the training to handle a flamer either, so
Well, we might be able to use the explosive collar to blow all of this up, but it would be, I imagine, a very big explosion.
it would be reasonably large, and there is also a couple of crates of frag grenades, so
Yeah. It would be very dangerous. And there's also the possibility of just like dismantling these things and using them for parts, but I don't have enough storage on my person to take anything with me, or to take this much with me.
you could take some of them with you if you liked.
Okay. Yeah, Drusel's definitely gonna like dive in and grab some stuff.
Okay.
They
Well,
are
I'll just
already
say-
in crates on lifters, though. We could just take them.
That's true. I don't know that we could get out of the hive with all of this stuff.
That's true.
Unless the warehouse is outside of the hive. And that's where we're supposed to be taking this anyway.
All right. Hear me out on this.
God.
It's a good start.
I just got a bad feeling. Go.
We know that club is clearly full of heretics, right? We've got a heck ton of explosives. When you have this many explosives, you can solve any problem.
Unless you've got the problem of things exploding too much. No, I'm with you on this. Don't get me. Sorry. Just carry on.
Now, Drusilla, you said that collar we found earlier could be remote detonated. Do you think you could work out how that kind of technology works?
It can be remote detonated, but we don't have the remote.
You
I
could
mean-
try again to. I'll give you a +20 because of all of the parts and crap here.
Okay.
But you could try again to fix. But I'm gonna make you all remember that you're not that far away from the club. You also have an unconscious guard who you knocked out. Just to remind you.
Okay, so we put Nikki next to the explosives.
All right.
And then-
Did you lay him in the frag grenade.
Then we stand at a distance just in case anything goes wrong. It's
Okay.
fine.
Or if we can't figure out the remote signal, we put him in one of the crates on top of a hand grenade, holding the pin down.
Oh, that's good.
Frag grenades work.
So I think if we can't figure out the remote detonation, then I might be able to figure out a timed detonation.
You could probably do that.
So we wouldn't be able to put it off from a distance, but we could just give it a minute and then, enough time for us to get out of this hive, because I feel like that's what we would need to do and not just stand at a distance.
They would require the same roll though, so remote and timed would be about the same.
And if I fail either one, we all die.
We also have the problem of getting the crates back in.
I'm gonna give this to you guys as well. Everyone just roll us. I'm gonna give you a plus 20 intelligence. If you get it, I'll tell you. If you don't, then we'll just move on. How is your intelligence target 0?
I don't know.
Did you give yourself like a minus 20 or something?
I swear I typed plus 20. I'll do it again just to...
I'm intelligent.
I don't know why it's giving me a target of 0.
Let me try it. There you go.
Okay.
Where are you clicking?
I'm clicking on intelligence, and then in the modifier, I'm typing plus 20.
It's the plus.
Just put 20 in. Not
That'll be where it's messing with me. Okay.
Okay, so... Did you all succeed? Oh, no.
Everyone but Drusilla.
Drusilla is distracted by all the sexy tech. You probably don't want to look. This could get weird. And yeah, Jim and Septimius. A thought crosses both of your minds at the same time, and you look at each other, and you're like, maybe this guy would know something, and it might be worth interrogating him. I'm sorry, you guys were like, let's blow him up, and I was just like,
you know, the one thing we didn't think of is... What if it turns out the only thing this guy didn't know was where he was?
I can't take it anymore. Too much.
Oh shit, sorry.
That's fine.
Okay.
What a great point. Maybe we should talk to this person.
Perhaps we should interrogate him even.
I don't want to do next week's scrap.
Is that why last week or something your computer was broke?
I beat it in with a hammer, dude. I just had to.
So I don't have any rope or anything to tie him up.
I've got manacles. I have manacles.
Jim's immediately suspicious of Septimius.
I actually do have manacles.
Yeah, you guys can kind of take him a bit further into the house and like truss him up, ready for interrogation.
Okay, we do that.
Okay. If you'd like to wake him up now or do some stuff, like you can leave someone to guard him. He's probably not going anywhere anyway. Like you'll say you like chain him to a hand railing or to like a pole or something that's just sticking out the floor.
Yeah.
The classic radiator.
Yeah, I was thinking, radiator.
And yeah, would you guys like to? You can do the remote explosion things. You can do something with the weapons and the crates, or you can interrogate. You can do all of those at the same time, honestly.
We should probably interrogate first.
You
Because
know,
then we might be able to figure out the best place to put the explosives.
That's true. We don't want to get blown up while we're still talking to him.
Yeah, that'd be a bad
No,
look.
I have all the confidence in your ability to set this bomb, but there seems to be quite a high irony factor going on in in what we're doing.
Oh.
And I've got my mind on that complication that Lord Conti paid for as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's interrogate him first, I think.
Okay. Would you like to just slap him awake?
Yeah, classic slap round the face.
What happened? Did we get ambushed?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wait, why am I tied up?
Because
Okay,
you're
ma-
obviously a traitor. That's how we got ambushed. Now you have to answer some questions.
Deceive.
That's not gonna work.
Oh, I like it. That's way better than what I was going to do.
Wow.
God, would you like to re-roll that? I will advise you
Wow.
that it's not probable that you'll succeed anyway.
10 fails of success. Levels of failure even.
Drusilla, would you like to re-roll that? I'll tell you for the sake of just saving something for I rolled really well, so
Before we go too far, can Jim dive into his mouth and make sure he doesn't have like a suicide pill or anything like that?
Just straight like hand in. Like...
sure, sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Oh, you're kidding me! I'm gonna re-roll that. I don't want to ruin the scene.
So you say that, and he's just about to respond to you when Jim jumps on him and straddles him, and then shoves his hand down his back. He's like, and Jim, at this point, you're playing with his tongue. He has nothing in his mouth.
There's no like false teeth or anything. I'm having a good feel.
No, you're fine.
All right, he doesn't have the thing that we know about the traitors.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spend my last fate point to reroll this.
You're not? Okay, well then. He spits a couple of times and just looks up at you and goes, you guys are Inquisition.
What's the Inquisition?
I'm not even going to make you roll deceive because that was a critical fail from Drusilla. he just shakes his chains and he's like, don't. Okay, don't. It's very obvious now that
Fair enough.
5 seconds.
We did previously establish that Septimius is not great at deceiving people. So it's tracks.
So, I don't know, where do we go from here?
You start tweeting, little bird.
How did we not realize you were Inquisition when you walked in the door? This is embarrassing, to be honest.
It really is.
Can I be interrogated by someone else, please?
No, you may not.
Ah,
It's just us.
This is what you get for making bad decisions.
I didn't make any bad decisions. I'm just following orders.
That was a bad decision.
If he had a suicide pill, he would have taken it out of shame of being outlooked by Jim.
Okay, well, listen. We need you to tell us what the deal is here. Where are these weapons going?
I don't know.
Not specifically, I mean who to. We already know you don't know where you are.
Yes. Okay. What's in it for me?
You don't get shot in the head.
Right
Or
now,
worse.
or
I would like to try and intimidate. I'm going to draw the knife and be like, or worse.
what's worse than getting shot in the head?
Getting shot in the head repeatedly. And not
I mean,
dying in between.
after the first time, I won't feel it. So
What's worse is having your parts harvested before we shoot you.
okay, Drusilla, roll me an intimidation with +20. That's creepy.
Ugh,
Close.
so bad at this. I have interrogation, but not intimidate.
All right, I'll allow the interrogation with +20 because you are interrogating.
There we
Hey.
go.
I want assurances that I won't be killed. Just outright.
And I want a free week vacation on a beach somewhere.
I don't think he has the power to give that to you. Although, a lot of money and drugs, maybe he does. Can you... Okay, we won't kill you.
Look, I have nothing to do with drugs.
Oh, that's right, they're smuggling weapons. Well,
I-
still.
I just do what I look. I just do what I'm told, and I was told to guard these crates. I didn't even know what was in the crates.
But what do you know?
I mean, lots of things. I know how to disassemble a lasgun and put it back together.
Not what I was asking.
I know
that.
the best way to get a good recap on the ship. I mean, what do you want me to?
Okay, look, let's just knock him out again and blow him up with the rest of the club.
What do you know about the transportation of these weapons, who they were being taken to, why the club was trying to smuggle weapons somewhere?
It was a job that our boss came upon and agreed to, and he told us that we should be there for security.
What do you know about the cult? The Rose cult?
The Harlequin Rose.
That's the one.
Never heard of them.
Yeah.
Just to give you a little bit more information on this guy, he's dressed in, again, fairly military-looking garb. Does anyone have laws of, like, anything military or...
No, I just got Arbitres and Underworld.
Do me an arbiter with, I'll say -10.
-10.
I've got
Nope.
+20 for movement for zero gravity, if that helps.
Are you Voidborn?
Yeah.
Give me a straight-up intelligence roll with a -10 then. I'll allow that. Just because you're a Voidborn. You got nothing. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't look, okay. I don't live on this planet. I live on a ship, okay? I go around in a ship and my boss gives us orders.
Right.
I have no interest in this hive or this planet. I've seen hundreds of planets.
What are you doing operating out of a drugs den?
I wasn't.
We just took you from a drugs den.
Yes, I brought the crates down from the ship and then I gave them to you.
In a drugs den.
So who do you
I mean,
work
is it
for
even
then?
a drug? I didn't see any drugs. Is it a drug den? I don't know.
He's got a good point. We didn't see any drugs either.
It doesn't belong to my boss.
They literally said, hey, you want drugs, come in here. Remember, they literally said that.
They did say that. Oh, I'm gonna lose it again.
Thank you, Dizzy Bug, for gifting me a sub of your sub renew. I didn't even see it come in. Thank you.
So who exactly do you work for? And how did you get in contact with the people at the drug den?
Okay. I don't know how we got in contact with the people from the drug den. That's above my pay grade. I am just... Literally, I am just a voidsman on Rogue Trader, not Hacker's crew. On his ship. That's it. Castro, not Hacker. I'll put that in chat for you guys as well.
He was the guy out of character. I do. Somebody was called Castro by name. Was this the guy with the military?
That
uniform?
was the military uniform guy
Right.
next to Tammy, who she spoke to.
Right.
All right, so what are you and Castro doing here on this planet?
Delivering the crates to the people who paid for them. And I'll give you guys, because Rogue Traders are pretty infamous, so you'd all know this, like just as a piece of knowledge as part of the Inquisition. Rogue Traders are almost like privateers. Were in like the 1600s and 1700s. Like they are not quite pirates, but they have the freedom to do what they like out in space. They're ridiculously wealthy. They have their own personal ships and all these kind of things. Very often, they work kind of outside the law a little bit sometimes, and they can come to the attention of the Inquisition sometimes. But yeah, they trade with Xenos aliens. They do dodgy things, and they generally get away with it.
Is this a name? His name, Castro, not Hacker. Is that a name we would have heard before, or?
There's a lot of Rogue Traders.
Yeah.
And you guys don't know this sector, so probably.
Wow.
So what you're saying is that you're completely useless to us.
No.
So what do you have that's useful?
I can pilot skimmers, and I know how to disassemble and reassemble a las gun in a quick amount of...
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Look, I don't want to die, okay? Like, I have no... Like, look, I understand you're the Inquisition, but I'm an honest Imperial citizen. Like, I may work for a Rogue Trader, but it's it's not like I'm out there doing anything bad. I was just trading guns, and not even me trading guns. I was just transporting the crates for the Rogue Trader.
But you didn't know what was in the crates.
No.
So it could have been drugs, and you would have been happy to transport them.
Yes, because I was told to by my boss.
So you're happy to be a heretic by disassociation.
Disassociation?
You heard me right.
I mean, if your boss in the Inquisition told you to take crates somewhere and not ask questions, would you ask questions?
That's a very good point.
That's why we're inquisitors and not lackeys. And by very nature, we ask questions. It's pretty much in the title.
That's true. It's kind of our job to ask questions.
But I'm just a voidsman aboard a Rogue Trader ship. Would you like me to ask my Rogue Trader captain, who commands tens of thousands of people, when he says, take this crate and deliver it somewhere? Or you'd like me to ask him what's in it and why? And because that's how you get killed.
I have an idea.
Good. Please.
I would like you to ask your Rogue Trader captain questions, and we happen to have an explosive collar. So we can send you back to your little group, and you can spy for us. And if you mess up, you don't make it out alive. How does that sound? Now you can be useful. Isn't that exciting?
I don't like that plan. I thought you were the nice one.
I don't know what made you think that.
Me neither. I think I just talked to this one for too long.
Also, I am the nice one. I'm giving you the opportunity to live, to do something good, to root out heretics.
I don't know how you're going to hide an explosive collar, but okay.
Well, I never said that I would put it around your neck.
Oh, God.
I've seen Drusilla do wonderful things with technology.
Okay, where's this going?
Well, do you have any better ideas, or would you like to wear the collar?
Well, let me tell you this. If I go to the rogue trader and I say to him, what are we doing here? He's going to tell me to shut up and get back in line. If I stay there and insist that he tells me, he's going to shoot me.
All right. Nikki, when you took a job under the rogue trader...
I mean, I was born on the ship, so... Both of my parents worked for his family. My grandparents...
This is more backstory than I want.
Yeah. No, honestly, I don't want your life story.
I once stubbed my toe when I was walking out of the privy.
Oh, you got to be careful for that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, they've got like these little lift
don't
bits.
encourage him, Septimius.
Yes, we all are aware that you have a rich backstory.
Mm-hmm. He has parents and grandparents. I have gone so deep on this character, guys.
All right, Nikki, when you decided not to leave the ship and stay working under Nodhacker...
How would I leave the ship?
God damn it. What kind of reputation has he got? Tell us about him. What kind of guy is he?
He's a fair man. As long as we follow orders, we're treated well. We get decent rations and quarters. The ship's quite nice. He's pretty rich.
Right.
I mean, you know, I've never really spoken to him directly.
But his deeds, what has he done? Destroyed any planets unwarrantedly?
What? No, of course not. He's
good. That's a good start.
He's never got in trouble with the law or anyone. You
That's
know,
not the same as not breaking the law, but okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes we'll go down to a planet and investigate some ruins, come back with crates, and then take them other places. You know,
That sounds a little suspicious.
sometimes we'll go to one planet, pick up stuff, take them to another planet, drop them off. Occasionally, we'll wipe out a village or two. I mean, you know, it's very. It depends what the rogue trader's in the mood for. Like what his, you know, he trades, he discovers, he explores, yeah.
We have two problems here, Drusilla Septimius. First of all, this all sounds like heresy to me. But second of all...
Literally none of it is heresy, and he says that.
Well, I don't know, going down to ancient ruins and crating up a bunch of stuff that could be anything.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but a rogue trader has an imperial warrant of trade from the Emperor himself, allowing them to do these things. It is quite literally the definition of not heresy.
But our next problem is that the planet can't know that we're here on Inquisition business. And since this guy's figured out that we're Inquisition...
That wasn't my fault. That was your fault. For being terrible at your job.
Look.
Out of us, I would say that you're more terrible at your job because you're the one tied to a chair. Just saying.
It hurts me a little bit that I can't disagree with that. But just know, you're all terrible at your jobs.
Look, we never claim to be good at our jobs.
Good.
But we haven't yet failed at them. Don't know quite where I'm going with that.
You just trail off. You're like looking him like directly in the face, like this and you just kind of trail off like, oh.
Yeah, just like, look, man, look, we're here to. Yeah, no, I guess you're right. That kind of trail off, but
I have a test. Okay.
Oh, good.
A gun in my hands can't shoot a heretic. So I try and shoot him, and if by some miracle my gun doesn't fire, he's not a heretic.
Roll me. Are you doing that, or were you saying that?
I'm offering that as a potential solution to Septimius and Drusilla.
Is that a real thing that could happen, or is this Jim just being Jim?
It's Jim being Jim.
You know what? Roll me a scrutiny, and we'll find out.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you're pretty sure that's true.
Well, Nikki, what do you think of this plan? Jim maybe shoots ya.
No, I don't really like it, to be honest. But then again, my other options all also seem to lead to me dying and also betraying the rogue trader. So,
I mean,
a little bit of a roll.
they don't all necessarily lead to you dying. If I put the explosive collar on you and you do what you should do, then you'll come out just fine.
You could become part of the Heresy squad.
I don't know what that is. I have a feeling I don't want to find out.
No one knows what that is.
No,
You have to be in it to know what it is.
I mean, look. I appreciate you threatening me, attempting to make me betray my boss by sticking explosives to me.
That means a lot. People don't normally appreciate that kind of thing.
Yeah. The not hacker family has been good to me and mine, so just get it over with. And he turns his head and closes his eyes.
Alright, I'm gonna give him a fighting chance. I'm not gonna use the hand with the fencing gun. No, fancy glove.
Oh yeah.
You don't need to use that. Not for a pistol.
Oh.
It's firing one-handed with basic weapons, which are usually two-handed. So you can use a shotgun as one-handed and use something else in the other hand, and it doesn't give you the -20 to that.
Is a las gun a basic gun?
Yeah.
It's like a rifle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Something to think about. Which is why I was so surprised when you pulled that glove out of some dude's pockets.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna roll to hit. There's a chance I could miss. I'm gonna turn my head as well, so I'm only half aiming.
Okay.
Giving him as much a chance.
+20, because it's close by.
Okay, so I've got half aim, and then for range, I've got +10 or +30.
Are you right up close to him?
Yeah, point blank, yeah.
+30 then.
Rate of fire, standard.
Jim,
as Drusilla says, Jim is sitting there holding the trigger
Septimius, what if you just knock him out again real quick?
Yeah, that might be better. But I just crack the guy on the side of the head with my shotgun again.
He's got his head turned. He's like, wait, what?
So wait, am I shooting him now or not?
I feel kind of bad. If he wasn't lying to us, then we basically just grabbed a dude doing his job, and we're about to execute him for doing his job, and he's not really anything to actually do with the. We basically kidnapped a postman.
You really did.
All right, well, in my eyes, I was about to shoot him, and then you intervened, so my gun did not shoot him, so perhaps he is not, after all, not a heretic.
That's good. I like the logic there. Yeah, it works.
Yeah. It's and it fits in with my way of thinking.
The Emperor guides my hand.
I literally was on the last option in the NPR.
So why don't we just walk out and leave him here?
I mean, he's such a loyal person. Do you think that he would change loyalties if he's not a heretic and work with us? He's not terribly useful, but
let's take him back to the safe house. Maybe we can convert him over time.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, it's the one with the note on the door that says heretics not allowed.
Right, it's outside the city.
So first we would have to find a way to smuggle him out of this.
Along with the crates, or are you just gonna leave those here?
Right, we also have to figure out what to do with the crates.
For the first time, can I look around the house? What kind of house is this?
There's like a family of 4 sat there, like, dead.
No,
We're not shooting someone in our kitchen.
it's just like a nondescript empty warehouse, basically.
Oh yeah, crates in a warehouse. This seems perfectly normal. They'll just think that someone boosted a few things off them. In fact, I will boost a few things off them. As I take
Just
a
to make
last,
it look good.
take a last gun.
Mm. You have a last gun.
Yay!
But okay, well, we're looking for the cult, right? Are we just kind of assuming that the cult are buying these weapons?
That's what I'm suddenly starting to think. Maybe when they saw the rose on my arm, they assumed I was a buyer because...
Well, I thought that maybe they thought you were part of the crew. The Rose Gang ran the drug place, and they thought you had been sent to pick up the guns which they had just bought from this guy.
Well, that's what I was... Yeah. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So our really our only problem is that you broke your map thing, and we never found out where they were meant to go.
Yeah.
So one thing we could do is try to stake out the drug den, because presumably the real couriers will be coming soon, if they haven't come already. And if we can stay hidden, we can keep an eye and maybe follow them somewhere, although they'll probably search for a while for us. And also we need to do something about Nikki.
I mean, like you say, he seems pretty loyal. I mean, maybe he could be converted, but possibly not by me.
We're just about to shoot him.
It was a test.
I mean, it's possible he'll trust you even more now. You did say that your gun wouldn't shoot heretics, and now we have proven that he is not a heretic.
Right?
Incidentally, Drusilla, because of your scrutiny roll was a crit failure, you do believe that his gun can't shoot heretics, and therefore you believe he's not a heretic. Just
Exactly.
for the record.
We can trust him. Or at the very least, he's not a heretic.
We still can't just let him go, though, because he would just go tell his boss that the Inquisition are onto them, and that could get back to the cult, and...
Well, hell, recruit him.
Yeah, I think the only thing we can do is either kill him or take him with us.
When you guys go back to the Inquisition ship, take him with you.
Inquisitor Vindictus is always looking for people, and you know that.
He's
Hey,
loyal.
worst comes to the worst, they can just make him into a servitor. Be fine.
He's loyal. He knows how to disassemble and reassemble a lasgun and fly a skim. He didn't seem to
true.
shut up about that.
he's only stubbed his toe coming out the crapper once, so...
That's pretty good as the average person goes.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we'll take him out of here. I guess that's probably the way to do it.
Okay. As you guys decide what you've wanted to do, it's time for the complication.
Oh no,
Oh,
forgot
great.
about the complication.
Yeah. I wanted to leave it a little bit and just
Yeah.
Drusilla, Septimius. You guys are in a kind of triangle having this conversation. Nikki is in the other room. You have a crate of guns. And behind Jim, you see a shadow.
Did anyone lock the door when we came in?
No, I
And
broke
as
the
you
door.
say,
I don't think we even closed it.
as Jim says he broke the door, two clawed. They're red, like bright red. You could, in the snapshot of you seeing this, you could guess demonic. The arms reach out as space is pierced, as these arms reach out, and they wrap around Jim and pull him back, and he disappears into the air. Next episode, we'll find out what's happening with Jim.
Sorry?
Okay.
I might have misheard you a bit there. Bit of a left of the traffic lights.
What would you two like to do?
Just kind of like blink and go, you don't see that every day.
One hopes.
We should tell the Inquisitor.
Yeah, this is above our pay grade, I think.
It's true. Maybe now's quick. Okay, I'll grab Nikki.
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of here. We got to get to. We got to report this.
Yeah, let's just try to lock this place down and leave the weapons for now and figure out what to do with them later.
Yeah.
I'll allow you without a roll to set the frag grenades to explode, basically. If
Oh,
any
perfect.
the crates.
Yeah,
What this likely, you know what? Let me roll for this to just find out what happens.
Hey, at least now I can honestly say I had nothing to do with what happened with the explosives. I was just an initial idea generator.
Yeah. So you guys won't directly know this. The information will probably get back to you at some point once you've left and everything. The weapon crate was found by members of this cult. Whoever was running the club, they tracked them down, and it exploded and took out like probably a couple of blocks.
We were pretty close to the club.
Not close enough for them
okay.
to take out the club, but everyone who was there and all the civilians living around it are pretty dead or like buried in rubble and etc. So
It's a small price to pay for something.
and
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is when you are presented to the Inquisitor with Nikki, and he's sitting there in his chair on his ship, which has recently come into the sector. What do you say about Nikki, and what do you say about Jim?
Jim went missing.
Missing.
Well, was taken by hands.
Hands.
I think he was pulled into some kind of warp rift.
Well, he's most likely lost.
That was my thought too, yeah. You don't really come back from that.
Not often.
Yeah. This is Nicky. He's like a delivery boy or something. We well, it seemed like we couldn't prove any actual heresy with him, but he was going to he would have exposed our presence to the cult. So we thought maybe he could be of use rather than letting him go.
We'll find a place for him.
Shame about Jim, though.
Yeah, damn shame. Never gonna see him again, I guess.
Damn shame.
I've received reports about Jim. Some have been good and some have been bad. I'm not sure whether it is a shame about Jim.
Well,
sounds like maybe it was only a matter of time.
You win some, you lose some.
Well, you'll be happy to know I have a new assignment for you both.
I am happy to know that.
Yes. What's the assignment?
There's an uprising in a further sector away. Take you about 6 months to get there. I want you to go there. I want you to locate the ringleader of this uprising and execute him, assassinate him. You will be assigned a couple more people with the skills necessary. But I want you to leave immediately.
Excellent.
Don't bring anyone back on this one. They're all
Sure, yeah. We just felt bad for this kid because, you know, he only stubbed his toe once, and yeah.
I read the report. He can disassemble and reassemble a lasgun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seemed pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
Oh, could you leave a note for his partner, or get in contact with her? Explain what happened.
Of course. Dismissed.
Right on. I mean, yes,
all
sir.
right.
And let's end there. Oh,
boy.
And I got a little weird.
It got real weird.
I don't know how you guys managed that. That was you. Unbeknownst to you, you slalomed through so much information and danger and managed to come out the other side not really knowing much more, but being very, very successful.
That sounds right.
That's exactly what we're aiming for. We don't want to progress too much, but we don't want to die at the same time.
Exactly. Middle ground.
Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race.
Whoops. I'm gonna have a hell of a job explaining this one. Well, that's the end of the show, everyone. Why don't we go around and talk about who we are, what our favorite part was, and where we can find each other online. Why don't we start with Jess this time? Oh, hi, Jess.
Hi. I'm Jess. I feel like my favorite part was basically anytime Jim did anything. Just constant nonsense, nonstop. I did especially love the claim that his gun can't shoot heretics. You can find me on social media at RightJessR, and you can find all of my various podcasts and whatnot at rightjess.com, my website. And also one of the D&D podcasts that I do, D20 Dames, will be at D&D Live this weekend, doing a show Sunday morning. So if you are paying attention to D&D Live, we will be there. And also, if you're local to Washington, the Renton History Museum has a D&D exhibit right now, and the D20 Dames also have a little shout out in there.
Awesome, that's cool. Thank you. And if you want to put any links or anything in the chat, by all means go for it. I don't block anything like that, so please do share with everyone where we can find you and all the things. Next, let's go to Pretending with Dice. AJ.
Hey, yeah. My podcast, Pretending with Dice, we're just coming up on our second year anniversary. I think a week on Saturday. But yeah, we do variety of tabletop RPG games and actual play sort of formats. Every episode has sound effects and a complete musical soundtrack composed by me, because I'm a glutton for punishment and never having any free time. But yeah, so check that out. We're just coming towards the end of a Call of Cthulhu storyline. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook, both of which we're at Pretend with Dice. So yeah, check it out.
Fantastic. Thank you. And of course, a quick shout out for Angeli as well. Angeli, who couldn't be here today. 4-hour commute today for Angeli, it seems. So that's fun. But we'll give her a shout out as well as we speak to Sheepy.
Hello, I'm Sheepdog. IGM 40K. That's what I do now.
You are like an expert at that as well, though, to be fair.
At this point, yeah. I can't remember much of what happened this episode already. I think last episode was where I got quoted as saying, I don't know how this could get any worse. I wouldn't classify this as worse. I think there were so many instances where I was like, this should go really badly, and then you guys just managed to pull it back to the point where no one, like, completely, where it went completely wrong and you were going to have to be fighting, like, you don't want to fight a rogue trader, for example. I think possibly my favorite moment, weirdly enough, was Jim saying they were coming for information. Because it makes no sense. And it was
panicked.
Like, because it's true, so he doesn't have to roll deceive. But it doesn't make any sense for anyone. Like, I'm coming to the big city. I'm bringing a couple of people with me. I just want information. That's what you say in an interrogation. It was great. Yeah. So many good moments of just. Yeah, I laughed way too much in this episode, and I broke a couple of times. So well done, guys. It was great.
Yeah, no, actually, that's a fairly good point. Well done, guys. I think this is the most I've broken in an episode as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
My favorite moment has got to be the line, one thing we didn't think of.
that destroyed me, because I was like, they haven't thought about interrogating this prisoner that they've got to find information. They're just talking about blowing him up with all the guns and explosives, and I was like, I have to make them roll, because I can't just be like, hey guys, maybe you can interrogate this person.
I think it's fairly obvious we didn't think about a lot. I mean, in terms of like, one thing we didn't think of was everything except blowing this guy up. But
we saw the frag grenades and the flamers, and we got
we got distracted. Yeah,
it's perfectly acceptable. And you know, like, I think this campaign especially is just, for me, it's fun. I love it. It's so much fun, and it's so silly, and honestly, I've completely embraced the comedy side of it. So
has to be done.
Yeah. Well, that is it from us, guys. We'll be back in a couple of hours with episode 2 of our new season of Just Because You Can, played in the Mask system, where I will be DMing for the group that was going to be doing Before the Drafts. I'm not sure if I'm still allowed to mention the title or anything, because it got cancelled because, you know, Disney. But we'll be back in a couple of hours with that. We'll also be back at the same time next week with more Hidden Scars. If Sheepy turns up again, it might be getting a bit much at this point. Please take a moment to check out the links that are being spammed in chat by the bot before you go. We'll also be doing a raid. The raid today is going to be a good one. We're heading over to Madame Gandalf, and Madame Gandalf's raid response is always stellar. So prepare for that. Big thank you to our sponsors, Bird and Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press, who make this all possible. I'll see you in a couple of hours. Until then, keep on evoking emotions, everyone, and we will see you later on. Bye!